Rogers and Associates Insurance, Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ron Juniman at Family Eye Care, Amber Wave, American Family Insurance, Farmers National Bank, Phillips County Health Systems, Phillips County Community Foundation, Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, Trinity Ag LLC. And now, here's Tad Feltz.
And good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for a Thursday morning. Again, we say that every Thursday morning. We'd like to welcome you, and the more the better here. We really appreciate you joining us because we let you know some things are going on. It's going to be warmer today. 76 degrees they're talking about today, and then it's going to be warm overnight, and then as a day tomorrow, it's going to cool off after night, which is really strange. Yeah. It's really strange. This morning we had Sandra VanKooten with us this morning to talk about the community garden. A great idea. We're going to discuss that. Also, Hannah Christopher, the Holocaust survivor, who was here this week, talked to the classes, had a great presentation last Tuesday night at the Christian Church. And then also Brennen and Engel is going to be here to talk about music at the Church of God concert this Sunday night. A man and wife, we saw them a year ago, and they're coming back. A violinist, he plays a violin, I think he's on the piano organ. Just great music. We're going to be talking about that. Before we get this morning to our first guest, who is Sandra VanKooten of the Creator Church of God, grab and go soup again today, 11:30 till 1, with chicken and noodle and chili. They had another soup, but they don't know what it's going to be yet. So they got a mystery soup today at the Creator Church of God. So who knows what it's going to be. But anyway, they know for sure chicken and chili. Also, the Hanson Museum annual meeting is coming up this Sunday afternoon, 2:30 at the community room. On display now is handicraft works of the choreography of quilts. Also entertainment. Gordon Crazy Fingers Lindquist will be there. I guess he's a great entertainer, and the members who show up have a chance to win a Blair Smith chainsaw carving. Refreshments will be served. So those are a couple of things coming up. And Sandra, thank you for coming on.
Well, thanks for having us.
Okay,
yes.
I tell you,
we're excited.
I can imagine how you. Let's talk about what's the official name?
Phillipsburg Community Garden.
Phillipsburg Community Garden.
Yes.
Okay, so number one, you need land to do it. How the land show up?
We talked to the city. They had lots north of the water tower. Mm-hmm. So we are going to put the garden there. And
okay.
Yes, we got things rolling there.
Okay, so where did the idea for this come from? I know
there was an idea several years ago, and it didn't get going. And then, I don't know, it hasn't quite been a year ago. We put posters up and stuff to see if there was interest yet, and we got a lot of good response.
Okay, sure.
So we had a meeting, and we have a board now. A lot of great gals on the board, and we're going from there.
Okay, so you meet and talk about things that you'll be doing. Okay, so we have the land, but obviously the dirt maybe not have been the best for growing a garden.
Yeah,
right?
we had soil samples taken.
Okay,
for the in-ground beds.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So the city council said, "All right, go ahead."
Yes, they've been really great. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay, so Phillipsburg Community Garden. Okay, so how many members on your board?
5.
Okay, so
yes,
you meet and talk about things.
Planning and
doing
all
so
that
let's
stuff.
talk about what's the timeline for?
We are going to get it going this summer. We are waiting for the water supplies to put the plumbing and the hydrants and stuff in.
Okay.
Terry Redinger's going to install that, and then we're waiting to get our raised beds.
Okay.
And
raised beds down. Is that the soil? Or
those are going to be metal containers.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be 44 inches wide and 8 foot long.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be a nice size, and 17 inches high. So that'll be a nice size to get a lot of stuff planted in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then the in-ground beds are 20 foot by 30 foot. So that's a good
And the soil was purchased for that, right?
We will get the soil for that, yes.
So you'll have it up there where
Yes,
you
we will have it ready to go.
You know, I said the dirt. Soil sounds better than
Yeah,
dirt.
soil. It's soil.
I like soil than the dirt. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what are you going to have out there? How many different beds will you have?
We are hoping to get, we've got 4 in-ground beds, and we're hoping to have 20 raised beds.
Okay.
And we're also going to have a spot for the community where we raise vegetables to bring to the food pantry and to the child care center.
Wow.
And we'd like to have school kids come and maybe plant pumpkins or
great.
something.
Sure.
And teach them where their food comes from, and maybe get them excited about it a little bit.
That's great. You know,
Yeah.
how big an area do you have there?
Oh, it's about 100 by 75.
Okay.
So somewhere in there.
Okay, so you have the soil beds, and then you have the I call them raised.
Raised beds, yeah.
So why do you raise them? I mean, is it better than in the?
It's just easier, yeah. Some people like that better. A lot of people are using raised beds now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't want to worry
Yeah.
about it. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I want to do that, how big an area will I have then?
Well, if you rent a raised bed, it's 44 inches wide by 8 feet long.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
I can grow tomatoes.
You can grow tomatoes or lettuce or whatever you want
Wow.
in it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. Now you said Brennen, how much?
We are charging $30 for the raised beds and $50 for the in-ground.
the whole year?
Yes, for a
Oh,
whole
wow.
year.
Wow.
And hopefully that'll be enough to pay for the water.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
You have to pay
Yeah.
for the water and
Yeah.
everything. Wow,
So,
that is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so soil, you're going to have a fence around it so
Yes.
the deer can't get in,
Yeah.
right?
And the dogs and the bunnies and all that.
Okay, so the fence goes around a shed.
We're going to have a shed for the tools and you know, if we get a mower and tiller and stuff like
Sure.
that. And
Wow.
hand tools, we'll have that there, and water hoses and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow, that's. And then when you start planting, probably, so the soil has to go in yet?
Yeah, we've
Okay.
got to get the beds built and get the soil ready, and then we'll probably meet everyone out there and
Okay.
have a planting party.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, that. I may have to. So, okay, so someone out there said, "How do I get in this? What do they do? Who do they call?"
They can call me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to give your number?
302-0486.
785.
785.
Do you
yes.
still forget to put the 785
Yeah.
phone number? I forget
Yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
302
0486.
0486 is called Sandra if you're interested. Okay.
Yes.
Now you can go what you want to there. And now where's this located? Is it
North
north
of the water tower.
Okay.
There's an empty lot there for a
Okay.
while.
Okay. All right, then you get the thing going. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. You still need some tools donated?
We have a few hand tools, but not a lot.
I'd heard you might,
Yeah.
someone could just help you out
Yeah.
by donating some tools,
Yeah,
right?
that'd be great.
Say shovel and rake.
Shovel, rakes,
and,
hand tools. Yeah.
Hose.
Hose.
Well, would you use a hoe much on that? I know you would.
Well, mostly hand tools on the raised
well,
beds.
sure,
but yeah.
right, yeah.
But yeah.
You know, and it's amazing that this came up. And have you had much interest right now?
Yes, we have. We've got several beds spoken for, and we have a lot of new gardeners that are interested in learning
Sure,
how to garden and grow their own food, which is great.
Will someone be out there once in a while, maybe help? Or would
Oh,
that
yeah.
Be okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few people out there evenings and stuff. We had a lady that was telling us that she was in a community garden in Denver, and they just had a blast.
Sure.
They just, you know.
Well,
And you meet so many new people, and
but besides growing the things,
Yeah,
you can
it's
share,
a lot of-
share
yeah,
stuff. It's
yeah.
a community effort.
Community effort,
You
yeah.
have to get together. That's amazing. Okay, now, what about fertilizers? Or would you have any things on fertilizers with, or you?
probably not. You know, the soil this year will be
Sure, well,
good,
it'd be real
and the
good.
in-ground beds. And we're going to have a compost pile too, so
Oh,
that'll
wow,
help.
okay.
Yeah,
So you
but
got
that won't be ready this year yet. but
Okay,
in the
just
future.
thought of everything. Okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of good
Okay.
girls on there.
So access
board.
all the time, anytime to it?
Yeah.
Will you have access? I mean, will the gate be open, or will it be a key to it, or how you?
We haven't decided that yet. We'll have a key for each member for the water hydrants
right.
and the shed.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So
You might not have a key. I'm going to make a 3 o'clock visit, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, don't do that. Can the people who are growing the vegetables there and so on, if they want to sell it at the farmer's market, can they do that, or is this
I think
for
so.
home use?
There really won't be
There won't be that much.
in the raised beds.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Okay. So.
And the people that are doing the in-ground, I think they just want it for themselves. Yeah.
Send or share
Yeah.
with their
Yeah.
neighbor. If anyone in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
they could share it. But last year wasn't very good was not very good for tomatoes.
Tomatoes, no. You either had a lot or you didn't get any at all. Yeah.
Have you been a gardener for a long time?
So I attempt. I plan to learn a lot from these gals, so I'm excited about
So
that.
what's your favorite thing to grow?
Onions. I grow onions and save the seeds and replant them.
Is that the easiest thing to grow, onions?
They're kind of tricky, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I grow a lot of lettuce and stuff too.
You ever try
so.
corn?
No, I don't have room.
Well, that's what it takes. It takes room. Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of
Oh,
tomatoes.
yeah, tomatoes
Roger grows a lot of tomatoes.
I can remember this goes way back.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the 40s, the 1940s, I would visit my uncle every summer in Hayes. And he had this huge backyard, and he had so many tomatoes, and that got me on. There's nothing like homegrown tomatoes. I don't care what you say. There's nothing like homegrown.
Yeah.
I eat them like an apple. I take salt.
They're so
like
good.
An apple. Yeah. They're so good. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And,
anything else? Go ahead.
We had a seed starting class. Christy Russell did that, and she did a really good job. We had a lot of people there to do that, and we want to have classes maybe later on how to preserve your food and stuff like that. So, and we're having some fundraisers. We hope to do something at the farmers market this summer, and we're making cinnamon rolls the weekend of Easter. So if anybody wants
you get those.
cinnamon rolls,
let
us know. Just call us.
Do I have to call you?
Yeah.
Can I tell you?
Okay, you can tell me.
Hold on, buddy. How do you
And they're
know
$25 a piece.
Okay.
And in town we can deliver them, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Put
Can
you
I
down.
pay you when you bring? I don't know if I
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what day will that be then?
We can bring them Friday or Saturday. So,
Okay.
Yeah. I'll call you.
I'll give you a call.
Okay.
But put me down. Is that
Okay.
25 for how many?
25 for a dozen.
Oh wow, that'll keep me going for
You
quite
bet.
more.
You bet.
Nothing like it. Well, that's great. That's your first fundraiser.
Yeah.
So if you have people coming in for Easter, this is a way to make it easy.
Yes.
Fundraiser $25. How about the Phillipsburg Community Garden? And cinnamon rolls, 25, and you give Sandra a call, and she'll be sure that you get the
Yes.
you get the cinnamon
We have a
roll.
limit, so
Okay.
we've got a
You
list.
got me in there.
Okay, we'll put you in.
Okay. So anything else you want to share this one? Anything else you can
can't
think
think.
of? Let's go on.
I think. We did get a grant from the Phillipsburg Community
Fund.
We
Phillipsburg
really
Community.
appreciate that. That was a big boost.
Yeah.
Yes.
That helped.
You bet.
Yeah. And
Yes. Where we're just getting started.
Sure. Well,
You know.
It's amazing that. Do you want to mention the other? I don't want to put you on the spot. Who are the other ladies on the committee?
Oh, I'll probably forget.
Okay, I know that always
Tami
has-
Sauer, Shirley Mendoza, Christy Russell, Sheila Roberts, and Christina Anderson.
Good job. Usually, it's okay. So again, if you're interested in either, you still have both the ground.
Yes,
the
we
ground.
still have plots available. So.
Okay, so both things. Just give Sandra. What's your phone number again?
785-302-0486.
Okay, and it's just a great opportunity to learn. If you don't know how to garden, I had a friend one time that tried to teach me to garden. He was a great gardener, Kay Milia. He was a gardener. He had a program on the radio for years. He worked at the radio station in Goodland, Kay Milia, and he had the gardener he was good.
Yeah.
Huge gardener. And I was never very successful. I tried things. And one year the rabbits got everything.
Yeah.
And took everything. So I did that. So okay.
That's another
Sandra,
advantage
thank
of a
you.
raised bed.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'll see you the next week with the
cinnamon rolls.
With the cinnamon rolls.
And just want to thank the community for all of their support. We really appreciate it.
I know people really ought to be involved.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, our next guest, yes, okay. So we'll take a break and come back, and Hannah Christopher's with us after this timeout.
In our area, ranching and farming are more than just jobs. They represent family traditions and a way of life. They are an essential part of our community. At First National Bank and Trust, community is what matters most. From agriculture to education, we support those who make our community one to be proud of and a place to call home. First National Bank and Trust, where community matters most.
We're here for you.
Farmers and Ranchers Outlet is a locally owned and operated business in Phillipsburg, Kansas. As farmers and ranchers ourselves, we continually put our products to the test. We provide a variety of products including roping supplies, horse tack, mineral blocks and feed, healthcare items for your animals, and of course, we have all the apparel you need to get the job done and look good while you're doing it. Stop by our store on Highway 183 or shop with us online at farmersranchersoutlet.com.
The experienced and professional team at Coombs Trucking takes pride in providing the most efficient and reliable service to our customers. From hauling to towing, our fleet of quality trucks and drivers continue to deliver safely and on time. Our team is also proud to support your team. We're here for our Little Leaguers, area high school teams, and more. Coombs Trucking enjoys giving back to the community that has been so important to us for over 50 years.
We all make bad choices. Your insurance carrier doesn't have to be one of them. Make a choice you won't regret. The foremost choice.
Are you wrestling with your financial situation? Let First National Bank and Trust help you take down the stress that comes with managing your money. First National Bank and Trust is here for our area athletes, here for our farmers, here for our business owners, here for our families, and
We're here for you.
And on the Tadpoll this morning, we're going to be talking with Hannah Christopher about something special that occurred earlier this week in Phillipsburg for the school and for the community. I mean, it was great that the middle school students had a chance to hear Mildred, and also the chance at the community, which I was very happy with how many people showed up the other night. I mean, it's really amazing. A child survivor of the Holocaust, Mildred Schindler Jansen of Ellsworth, was in Phillipsburg, talked to the class at the end of the other night, and she had a book signing and had a good film there that she'd never seen, I guess, he said.
That's correct.
A documentary about her life when she was young in the Holocaust area. And she wrote the book, Surviving Hitler and Evading Stalin. I learned a lot. I did not realize how bad the Russians were with the people. I mean, we heard about all the Auschwitz and all that, but I did not realize that the Russians were really bad with the survivors who were there. We'll talk about that. And so we had a chance to go Tuesday night. I really appreciate the First Christian Church doing that. And of course, Hannah, were you instrumental in getting Mildred here, or how did she end up in Phillipsburg on Tuesday?
Yeah, I met her this summer and had heard about her story and her book, and so I had a chance to read that. And I thought, oh, this would be a great thing for us to go through as a class for a novel study. And but I contacted her family. They said a student edition was going to be coming out this winter. And I want to really publicly thank her and her family, because I said I would love to go through this book, but I don't want to ask for the funding to be able to purchase 20 copies. And they said, we don't want that to be an issue. We think this is an important story and it needs to get out there. And so her family actually purchased all the books that we used in the classroom.
Really?
And then she was like, I would love to come and talk to the students. And so I was working with her two daughters. And so the family really volunteered a lot of time and resources in making this story available to our students. And so that was a little bit of how it kind of came about. It was a little bit of happenstance. But as I've been losing my grandparents, I realized that those that lived through this period are very quickly all going to be gone. And it's just completely different reading about this in a history book or being able to interact with somebody who lived it. And so I was really thrilled to give the students the opportunity and the people in the community that evening, through her willingness to come, to have that experience of getting to see and flesh and blood someone who experienced this.
What it was amazing, that documentary that they did, you know, she saw for the great, it was great, showed her, you know, and told that. And luckily she had her birth certificate because she could just prove she was born in Great Bend.
Yes, yes.
And, now how did a little Great Bend end up in Europe again and be involved in that? And her dad went back there.
Yeah, her dad was in farming, so he came here as a thresher in his 20s, brought her mom over, they got married, and then she was born, and then within a couple months of her birth here in the U.S., her dad said, your mom passed away, or her grandfather said, your mom passed away, I need you to come back and help run the farm in Germany. So the three of them returned back to Germany, and then that's where she experienced all of her childhood.
Okay, so they lived where in Germany, and then they went east, you know,
Yeah, they were east of the Oder River in Germany, which is the current far eastern border of Germany.
Okay.
And so they were on that forefront between Germany and Poland. So they saw a lot of that action, of that fighting that happened there. And then after the war concluded, their farmland was given to Poland. So the Polish soldiers came onto their land armed and said, you have a choice to either become Polish citizens or leave the farm that's been in your family for 300 years.
Wow. Well, and so she made it to the consulate in Berlin, and she proved that she was an American citizen because she was born here.
Yeah, she had no idea what it meant, actually. She just knew she had this piece of paper. Her mom said it would help her. And when she took it into the consulate, they're like, you are an American.
Yeah, and it was fun. She told about trying to eat on the train, you know, and she didn't know much English. I mean, she is very fluent in English. You know, it's amazing.
Yes.
She learned. So she came back here and got married back here, right?
Yeah, she had an aunt that was still in that Great Bend area of Kansas that actually, her aunt married one of her dad's friends.
Okay.
And so she had come from Germany to the U.S. And so they gave her a place to stay, and then there were multiple people in the area that helped her learn a language and get a job and start a new life here in the States.
Wow, that's amazing. What did she do?
She worked at the bank in Lorraine. That was her job as a career. And she was, I mean, it was exciting as kids. We were cheering for her as we make it through this story. But she went back to school at 18 years old and to learn in a second language, and graduated when she was 22, high school here.
Wow. It's amazing. And I asked her, you know, she was unaware of what was going on in Germany with all the atrocities and everything. She said, all. I wanted to ask her this, but I didn't get a chance to. Did she ever mention about the people that say that it didn't happen? Did she ever commented on, a lot of people say the Holocaust didn't happen. You know, did she ever mention anything about anyone ever saying anything to her about
She didn't
that?
specifically mention that, but I think that was part of the reason. She started writing the book, she started writing notes for her grandkids at 88 years old and started the book at 90.
Wow.
And so I think she recognized that if those of us who went through this don't speak up, people are going to be able to deny what took place. And so she saw the value in that of saying we need to speak up and say what went on during this time, so there's a record.
You know, if you've ever been to the Holocaust in Washington, D.C., if you've ever been there, you remember when you get on the bottom floor and into the elevator, you remember what the video was?
I kind of remember it all as an experience.
Eisenhower showing him there, saying that he did that, so in later years, if they said it did not happen, he saw it, you know. That's amazing.
Yes.
And then you go each floor down. Anyone that goes to Washington, if they have the chance, should go to the Holocaust. That's very important. There was a gentleman that lived through, I think, Auschwitz, that came to Hayes several years ago and talked. And I went down for that. His That's amazing. How did your students react?
Oh, they loved her. They were all surprised about how vivacious she was at her age. I asked them to send me questions to ask her, and I got in 20 pages of questions from the students. And so I was like, guys, there's no way we can make it through all of this. But there were so many really good, thought-provoking questions. And
what were some of them? You have some of them there. What were the questions, some of that the students asked? What was something like?
Some of it was her view of what was going on politically during the time and how different things affected her.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting. One of the little girls was celebrating her 11th birthday the day she was there, and one of her questions was, are you happy to have as long of a life as you've had?
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really a thought-provoking question from an 11-year-old.
Sure, wow.
So there were a lot of questions about her experience that she didn't address in the book. But one of the things that surprised me really with the reaction from my students is, especially among the boys, there was so much empathy for her story. And I think we felt like we had been on this journey with her. And at some points when we were reading it, like kids would almost come up out of their seats and just in indignation at the injustice she was suffering. And so I think there was an emotional connection there that I didn't realize. And so like one of the students, as we were talking about it yesterday, was saying, oh, I felt really badly to ask my question because it caused Mrs. Jansen to tear up. But like he asked her, who was the most important person for you through that time? Like, who stood beside you? And she got to share about her mother and how she supported their family.
Well, she was very, if it wasn't for her mother, she might not have even been here, because she really watched out for her, you know, when the troops had come by, and it's amazing how. And then she talked about how bad the Russians were. And, you know, gee, they took some of them back to Russia. She lucked out there, didn't she? She never had to go to Russia, into Russia.
No, she had a very unique experience, which was an exciting thing about the book, is that she was a Gentile in Germany, so she comes from a non-Jewish perspective. But she had encounters with the Nazi German troops, the Soviet Russian troops, and the Polish troops, all three. And so I haven't found another survivor story that had encounters with all three troops.
I didn't realize. Most of them,
she talked about
the German with the Jewish, or maybe they're gay, or maybe these type of thing, you know.
But she talked about how, the Russian troops came in, looted their homes, evicted them from their home, took her father off to work cattle, and they never saw him again.
Never saw him. Did they ever find out where he is? Does she know where he's buried?
No, they didn't take any names of any of the people that they forced to work, but they're pretty sure that he was shot by the Russian troops. And then she was taken off to a work camp as well, and has this story of standing up to one of the female Russian soldiers that she's like, I'm not going to wash anymore. And she thought at that point she would be shot. But the soldier just pushed her back in the line and went on.
Her hands were so sore from washing her. And she's got, the soldier come up and look at one of the shirts she was washing and
slapped her in the face because it wasn't clean enough. But then after actually the war was over, they were in the Eastern occupied zone that was occupied by Soviet Russia. And so where they were relocated to, the mayor came to her mother and said that he recognized that her mother physically, emotionally, and mentally was really having a hard time with what was going on. And he said, I've gotten a request for 30 girls to be sent to Siberia, and I can protect your daughter from going with this first group. But they're going to come in 3 months, and I'm not going to be able to protect her then. And so her mother was just an amazing woman, and she came up. She devised a plan that she said, okay, I'm going to ask them if you can go and get warm clothes from your aunt's house in Berlin, and her aunt happened to be in the American sector. And so then when she put her on the train to her aunt's house, it was 7 years before they saw each other again.
Maybe they asked her how she got from New York to, and share about what you said about the Statue of Liberty. I think that's amazing, because you've heard so much about there's the Statue of Liberty, the Lady of Liberty. What was her reaction? You know?
I think for her it was just a statue. You know, it wasn't a symbol of anything. But it was interesting as she read the book. for her to feel safe finally again, for her to be able to be with family that she loved and not have to continue to move around. Like, that was the symbol that she took with her of the United States, you know, more than a statue.
Sure. Well, it's amazing. Then the train ride, and the conductor took good care of her, you know, I guess. Eating and this kind of thing.
Yeah, she talked about how she just struggled, that she didn't know the language, that she knew like yes, no, and displaced person from Germany.
Yeah, and she ended up, she said, eating a lot of the goodies, I guess, that he gave her. She got on them. It's amazing. Anything else on there that we didn't touch on this morning? But it was very good.
Well, I think just the opportunity of seeing that documentary, that my students were really excited about that because it premiered in Kansas City on Sunday, and then we got to watch it on Tuesday.
She had never seen it.
And she and her daughter had never seen it, no. And so just to give them that opportunity to be one of the first ones in, and it's not been released yet, so you won't be able to find it on YouTube yet.
It's really good. It shows her, I don't know where they got some of that footage. They had to really dig to get some footage. And the title, Surviving Hitler, but Evading Stalin, that was, when I saw the title, what's that all about? But I mean, the Russians weren't good at all, you know. And we'd always seen them, you know, going to these concentration camps and letting the people go. You never saw anything bad about it, but they were bad. And of course, they had to have after the war, they had the 4 zones and all that stuff, you know, the East Germany, which is really not good at all. So anyway, well, and anything else?
No, I appreciate your having me on today, and it's just been an exciting journey that I've gotten to take with the students, and one that brought up, you know, ethics and politics and history and geography and racism, and so I was just so thankful for that opportunity.
And it's amazing. I thought they were just the Jewish people. She was Gentile. She didn't know about the Night of Glass and everything. Did she?
No, in fact, that was one of the things that she wrote in her book that really bothered her, is the larger town that they went into, the merchants there were Jewish. And they went into town one time and saw all the windows broken out, and they were like, well, where's the family? And she said she never found out what happened to that family. But she didn't find out about the Holocaust until she was here in the United States and helping her children with homework. And when she was helping her children with homework and started reading about the atrocities of the Holocaust. And that was something that we definitely learned throughout the book, was how much Hitler's propaganda really just set a certain narrative for the German people, and they had no idea what was going on.
I'll share one other thing. Growing up Second World War, we didn't have television, newspapers, you know, but so you'd go to the movies, you go to the theater, and they would have movie tone newsreels there, but there was about 10 days behind something that happened. They had to film it and then and do all that. And the first time I remember seeing the film from the concentration camps, I couldn't believe it. All these emaciated men. Well, you've seen the pictures too. It's just and the big graves, you know, where that's the first we knew about it here, and it never really was brought up much, you know. But it was a terrible situation, and it did happen, you know. That's the thing.
And I think that's really important. And in her book, she talks about one of the reasons she wrote it is to learn from history, so that it doesn't repeat itself.
Well, that's everyone said. Okay, anything else you want to share with our hand? It's great. You have to get back to your students?
Yeah, I do. I ran out of my class to get over here, so Mr. Strasberg's taking care of them, so I do need to get back, but I appreciate your having me.
Anything else you want to share this morning?
Yeah, I did have a whole bunch of notes to come
that
in,
happens all the
but
time.
I think we've been able to.
I interview and people bring stuff, and we never.
Yeah,
I let you talk about stuff, but I want to know about it. See, that's why I asked. But
it's just such an interesting story.
Sure, yes,
and I just think it gave us such a unique perspective that we don't necessarily get to have. But I think most of the things here on the list we've been able to go over.
Okay, well, had a Thank you so much. Do you ever think she'll ever come back again?
I'm not sure. You know, she's 94 years old.
I know.
And she gets around so well, but she does say, like, oh, I'm getting too old for this. But wouldn't it be great to have her back again?
And I'd love to have her on the show.
Okay.
In fact,
I will let her know. We're writing thank you notes in class today, and so I'm hoping to be able to give it to her soon. So I will let her know she's welcome anytime.
Well, started writing at 88, her book. I started at 87.
Oh, wow.
I've got 50 chapters in my book now. It's not,
you guys make me tired.
Anyway, okay, thank you so much
thanks
for coming.
so much
Thank
for
you
having me. I
getting her
appreciate
here.
it.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Brennen Engel is going to be joining us in a moment after we take this break.
At Phillips County Health Systems, patient-centered excellence is more than a goal. It's a mission. And that's why we continue to be one of the top critical access hospitals in the country. We care for members of our community through all stages of life, providing quality health care, innovative rehabilitation therapies, and convenient access to specialists. It's the kind of care our patients should expect, the kind of care you deserve, the kind of care provided at Phillips County Health Systems.
Prairie Horizon Agri-Energy is now Amber Wave. We are transforming our existing facility in Phillipsburg to turn 20 million bushels of wheat into domestically produced wheat protein for use in the food and feed-related industries. This investment in the community will come together in the summer of 2023 and is expected to add 50 new jobs to the local community. Learn more at amberwaveusa.com. Amber Wave, vital, reliable, sustainable.
The American dream has changed over the years, but Farmers National Bank has not. This is Jean Ann Wagner. Farmers National Bank has been backing the American dream for over 100 years. Tell us what you'd like to accomplish, and we'll work with you to achieve it. As we celebrate 100 years, it's never been about us. It's always been about our customers and their successes. That's the American dream. We're Farmers National Bank in Phillipsburg, Agra, Logan, Kensington, Stockton, and Atwood, member FDIC.
Olive Movie Furniture in Phillipsburg has so many lazy boys, they're running out of room to show their other great lines of furniture. Olive Movie is featuring lazy boys at prices that are just too good to pass up. Lazy Boy rocker recliners, Lazy Boy sofas, Lazy Boy reclining sofas. Don't miss this opportunity. Help move the lazy boys so there's more room to show the other great furniture. Olive Movie Furniture, West Highway 36 in Phillipsburg.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
And on the Tadpoll this morning, Brennen Engel has joined us, and we're going to talk to Brennen about something special coming up Sunday night at the Community Church of God, and they were here last year. Who's going to be there with great music Sunday night, Brennen?
Yes, they're having Kevin and Heidi Cheng, and he is a piano player, and she plays the violin.
And it's great how they combine their things. They solo, they go together on this, and it's at 6:30.
It'll be at 7 p.m.
7 o'clock. Okay, and I also saw that meal served prior to the concert. Is that right?
Yeah, there will be some food, and there'll be kind of a main course and then some side dishes.
Okay,
so kind of a potluck.
Okay, now is this free will? Is it free will?
Yeah, the entire event is a free will.
Did you see them last year when they were here?
I didn't. I wasn't able to see that, but my mom and dad went. And
all right, we saw there.
Yeah, and they said it was phenomenal.
You know, they're out in Nebraska. They were last year. I guess they're still up in Nebraska, and they go. But they, like I said, they do solos and they do combinations, and it's just a great evening of music. It's free will if you want to go out early. 5:30 is it for the? Is that what?
Yeah, for the food.
That's where I got the 5:30. Then around 7 o'clock, just show up. It's free will offering. They have a main dish, and then other things go along with that, and
that'll be at the Community Church of God, which is at 135 10th Street.
Right, and that's, I would say, located right down the street from the baseball diamond. That's how
Just basically across the street from the baseball field.
Right, and then where they do all that is it's a great opportunity. I recommend it because I saw them last year. It's a good way. It's Palm Sunday, a good way, and they play all kinds of. I mean, it's not. It's classical. They have country western. They do the whole thing.
Now this time they will be focusing a little more on the Irish and country folk type of music and some classical, but they do. I mean, about any kind of music you can think of.
Their Irish music was great. I thought the Irish stuff they did with the particularly with the violin and everything. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so I've got you here. What are they serving today at the Grab and Go soup? What is it?
Well, they're doing chili and chicken noodle, and then the third soup is a creamy potato and sausage.
Okay.
And I think it might have some spinach in it, but it's that'll be really good.
I didn't have that. I called her yesterday. She didn't have it. You have the inside track there. It's great. You just drive in, and it's a free will offering, and they bring it out to you. They give you a cookie and water, and then the soup. It's really good. It's from 11:30 until 1. The same church there. So anything else you want to
Well, I might mention a little bit about
Sure.
Kevin and Heidi. So they are from Nebraska. She grew up in Kearney, and he is actually from Taiwan originally.
That's right. I forgot that.
And so he grew up in Taiwan up until he was a teenager, and then my understanding is he did not get into the conservatory, the music conservatory in Taiwan. He was late applying for it, and so he was looking to the United States to find a school, like a high school that he could come to where he could study music as well. And so somehow he had seen that there was a Christian high school in Central City, Nebraska, and he saw that it was Central City, and to him, he was thinking of a city like New York City. And so he ended up coming not knowing that it was a rural area, and as kind of an exchange student, and attended the high school in Central City, but then he was able to study under a music instructor in Hastings, Nebraska.
Okay.
So, but he's just a phenomenal, I mean, he's like competition classical concert level piano playing.
Oh yes. Yeah. Have you ever heard anything? Have you ever gone
Yeah,
to
I've
those
seen
concerts?
I've seen a lot of their stuff online on YouTube, and you know, and I've seen him play anything from popular music, you know, songs you might hear on the radio, to Elvis songs, Disney songs.
He does. Yeah, he does a great. And she does her thing too, and they get together and separate, and it's just they have a good time. You can tell when entertainers like what they're doing. You can tell by the way they are, and you know that they like to be there. They're glad to be there entertaining the people.
And this is what they do full time. So they're on the road all the time, and across Nebraska and northern Kansas and things like that. And they've been doing this for about 4.5 years now. So
like I said, I saw them last year. I'm going again Sunday night. I want to be there to see what's going on, and with the great music. And I've already lined up some people to go with me. So
yeah, it should be an excellent show.
So if you want to go, if you want to eat, you go at 5:30. And then if you just have other things, and just show up around 7, and just beautiful music and free will offering, and it's amazing that they can come here. You can bring them here. The Community Church of God, again, right across the street from the baseball. It's easy to find on the north side of the street there. And if you go for the Grab and Go today, again, 11:30 until 1. I've gone every time. I couldn't last week because I had a meeting, but I'll be going there again, picking up some for some other people too. But you go in the east entrance there, that's north of the church, and then drive south where that alley is. It is right there. So
yeah, basically
convenient.
Basically go through the alley that kind of runs behind the church, and they'll come out and ask you what you want and get
Yeah,
get what you
come in
need.
and it's been cold on some of the days I've been there. But today it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice after today.
It is.
Okay, what was the menu again today, Brennen?
Today, chili. There's 3 soups: chili, chicken noodle, or creamy potato sausage.
Okay. And they give you a bottle of water and also cookies and so. Anything else you want to share about Kevin and Heidi?
Well, I was just last night. I was watching. They've got quite a few videos where they've been on Nebraska TV shows and stuff like that. And there was one that was a video of them playing together in a church, and it was kids. There was some kind of a kids group there that he was playing for, and she started asking them if they would know the song, and then she started playing it, and it was like the theme to the Lone Ranger. So and then she went in, which that's what we think of as
that's a William Tell overture,
right? But then she went in and played the entire, William Tell overture on her violin.
Wow.
So,
wow, I hope she does that. So that's great,
So yeah,
I grew up on that song, watching. We used to be on the radio before TV was on the radio, and they always played that. It's the same song, And then, so okay, well.
Yeah, so they're just top-notch musicians, and I think everybody will enjoy this show.
Okay, very good. Anything else? I got you here.
I don't think so.
Okay, I appreciate it, Brennen. Thanks for coming on. I've known Brennen for a long time, and we've shared a lot of things. So, okay, so that's kind of it for today. Again, the Hanson. So, if you're going to go to the Hanson Museum annual meeting, you can go there at 2:30, or either plenty of time to come back and go to on Sunday night. Go to the Community Church of God and go early and eat if you want, and stay around for the music or go for the music. And the Hanson Museum annual meeting at 2:30, and they have a piano player there. So boy, you get all kinds of music on Sunday if you go to both things there. So, all right, that's going to do it. We again thank Hannah for coming on and sharing the child survivor, Mildred Schindler. Someone asked her, Schindler, her name is Schindler, if there's any relation to Schindler's List. No relation at all. There was no relation at all to the Schindler's List, all that. But anyway, she came back.
Watching that reminded me of a piece that I wrote on Rex Kellogg, that lived, Martha Kellogg, her husband.
Sure,
And he was a pilot, and he was shot down over Germany and spent the rest of the war in German prison camp.
Wow.
That was pretty incredible.
I'm the only one in the room that remembers the Second World War in person. They say it's a good time because the country really, the United States really was together then. I mean, it was, and as I said, we were not aware of what was going on in Germany until we saw it, and a terrible thing there. So, okay, we'll be back next Thursday morning with another Tadpoll at 9 o'clock. We're lining up some guests right now for that, so look forward to talking with you. And again, grab and go soup today, 11:31 at the Community Church of God.